Glad you're with us today on Fox. That sneaks into the end zone where Switzer will take a knee.
Didn't have one last week against the Giants either.
Here is Elliott, who started wide, went into motion, and then back out into that flat area. Brandon Marshall on the stop and a gain of 4.
Bringing in to shore up this run defense.
Here is Ezekiel Elliott. Nothing. Extra men on the rush. Witten short. Play. It's 3 and out to start the day for Dallas. Jones to punt. Hangs it high with Isaiah McKenzie staying away. Sun peeks out. Pass is caught. Demaryius Thomas to the 25.
Really well in that ball game last week.
Here is a handoff to C.J. Anderson. 3rd down coming up as Anderson gets a couple. Here's the defense for Dallas. Simeon sets up. Well protected. Pass is caught. Thomas down the sideline and a big gain on 3rd and 4. On 1st down, play action. Simeon fires. Pass up for grabs and it drops to the grass as Sanders got a hand on it. Blitz. Lee coming. Broncos pick it up. Sanders makes the catch. 1st down and more. Heath on the stop just outside the 20.
Space.
More play action from Simeon. C.J. Anderson out of the backfield. A nice gain on 1st down. And the offense is clicking for the Denver Broncos. Simeon has started 4 for 5. Anderson bottled up and fights for the 1st down. Looked like a broken play. End zone, touchdown, Sanders.
He's able to bite just enough. It holds him just enough that allows Trevor Siemian then to lay the ball, run, and then takes the post.
McManus knocks it through. How about Trevor Siemian? Give up a touchdown in 10 drives last week against the Giants. Well, they see the Broncos go right down the field. Switzer takes a knee. Just begun in Florida and in Texas. Quick throw by Prescott, getting Des Bryant into the fun. And Bryant good for 12. On 1st down, Prescott well protected. Beasley hops out of bounds. Elliott cuts back on 2nd and 4 and gets flipped. Picked up 3. 3rd and 1.
We're going to get right in behind this offensive line. Pick up the down.
False start. It's about to be 3rd and 6.
False start. Offense, number 79. Five-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Prescott pulls it back, finds Elliott, and down goes Elliott. Hit by Darian Stewart, a loss of 1, and a good start for this Denver defense.
Way with the touchdown. Cowboys aren't used to getting stopped the way that they have on these first 2 possessions.
Good punt here by Jones. That was Derek Wolfe. What a good punt by Jones. He's off to a terrific start this season. That was Wolfe that got in there on 3rd down and 6. Handoff to Anderson running right with some room, and Sean Lee on the tackle. Simeon complete. Thomas 1st down.
2 sacks, and he needs to get some pressure on Simeon.
Simeon. Pass is caught. That's Cody Latimer.
Smart guy, obviously, and he makes good decisions with the football.
Handoff for the 1st down to C.J. Anderson. 5 wide receivers out there for Dallas, or rather Denver, because of it. And this one is thrown away as DeMarcus Lawrence finally does get some pressure. Handoff, Anderson. What a run! C.J. Anderson out of bounds near the 40. Jamal Charles in the backfield now. Play action to him. Simeon will pull it down and hop out.
Omaha,
2nd and 6. Handoff to Charles. Charles running right. And the longtime Chief bangs into the kicking net on his own sideline, a gain of 4. Third down and 2. Simeon over the middle. Pass was behind his target, Benny Fowler. Was perfect in the preseason. This one, no good. They do give to Ezekiel Elliott, so far nada. Adam Gatsis by his own hamstring injury throughout camp. Quick throw, pass is caught, Des Bryant, but short gain, Harris on the tackle. Over the middle, Witten, first down. Prescott, sideline, Des Bryant not there. The crowd was ready to come back. Prescott keeps it and throws it over the head of Terrence Williams. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Broncos for being able to get jams on those receivers.
Prescott out to his right, has some room out there. And he's dragged down at the 40. Is out there with Isaiah McKenzie waiting. McKenzie gets away. And that was kept alive for a moment. And it's a touchback. That was not well played downfield.
A huge game Sunday night. Does it again, but just an error on special teams.
Here's C.J. Anderson on first down, a gain of 4. Jalen Smith.
Omaha, that!
On second down, handoff to Anderson, and this time the Dallas defense steps up. Cowboys have already allowed more rushing yards.
Where they're already pretty injured.
And a sack, ball's out. Opportunity, and the Cowboys have it in at the moment, field of play. It'll be Dallas ball inside the 5 as the initial call is that the player that had it was down at the 3.
Now for the second week in a row makes his impact felt.
Then Malik Collins gets on the ball right here. And they said he was down by contact at the 3. Collins was down, otherwise it'd be a touchdown. Knee is down, he has control of the ball, I believe. And then it pops out.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Zeke. Boy, he has been bottled up and has not been able to get going at all. Pass. Bryant, touchdown! Working on Talib. And Troy, they had one-on-one. Bryant against Talib, and Des Bryant and Dak Prescott won that battle.
Tough guy to cover. And a ball that is perfectly thrown, and when that ball's in the air and it's around the end zone, you can bet that 88's going to come down with it. It's a great job of him adjusting to the back shoulder throw.
Touchdown number 68 in the 99th career game for Des Bryant. 71. Tie game. Latimer from the end zone. Ball's out. Denver keeps it. Jeff Heath on top of it. And he did. Well, that was tonight. Blocked field goal ended it, would have tied it. Pass is caught. That's the tight end, Virgil Green, and he is down. Hand off for the first down, Anderson.
That's it to the game.
Pass is caught, and a good low throw, well placed by Simeon.
Defense focused so much on those outside guys, you got to be able to work the middle.
Second and 2, first down. Play action from Simeon. Pass is caught for a first down. Inside the 45 by Latimer.
Hurry, hurry, got!
Jamal Charles gets it running right. Takes it inside the 40. Simeon out to his right, has some room, and he saw that room. Third down and 2. Pass is caught for the first down. Thomas to the 20. He just now got off the field. Simeon. Pass is caught, but out of bounds. That's Fowler, made a brilliant catch, but his momentum carried him out of bounds, incomplete.
This is a great throw and great catch. You see Fowler go up and try to make a play on this, and
handoff to Anderson running right. That was a 2nd and 10 play. It was a gain of 1, so 3rd and long coming up. It's 3rd down and 9. Simeon flushed out, tripped up, down he goes. And a sack for Lawrence. He's got another.
costly.
He turns it into a 50-yard try, and McManus absolutely drilled it. But a flag is down late.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, leverage, number 90 of the receiving team. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Wow, big penalty against DeMarcus Lawrence for leverage down. Points are off the board, and C.J. Anderson carries it for a gain of 1. And there's DeMarcus Lawrence again. Simeon fires, and the pass broken up, well timed by Heath. 3rd down and 9. Simeon, good protection. Pass underneath. Pass is caught by Anderson for the touchdown.
Heath is in coverage, and the move that he makes starts like he's going to the flat. Heath loses his footing. Anderson comes underneath and then plows his way in for the touchdown.
Instead of a 10-7 game in this game. That factored in on that touchdown a moment ago. And we'll take you back to the touchdown for C.J. Anderson.
He's inactive, and they're trying to piece this thing together.
Now the Cowboys will try to answer, and that skips in toward Dez Bryant. Just got it away. Prescott finds a receiver. That's Terrence Williams. 3rd down and 4. Prescott. Bryant, what a throw! Flag is down, and we'll see who's going to get the pass interference.
Interference, offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty.
Up playing soft.
Pass is incomplete. Off the hands of Bryce Butler. It's just a 7-point affair as Jones punts. McKenzie from the 30. Good return. Good block. Out to midfield.
A lot to do with the television contracts and the growth of this sport.
Out of the backfield, Jamal Charles. Nice gain on 1st down. Organization. 2nd and 4. Charles breaks a tackle. Got past Sean Lee. Picks up a 1st down, and so far no answers on this Dallas defense in 1st downs. Simeon. Pass complete. It's Demaryius Thomas. The Cowboys 60. Charles, 1st down. Hand off to Anderson. Broncos are inside the red zone. As Bronco fans know, for the Chiefs, they beat the Eagles. Here's Sanders with a catch. Anthony Brown with a quick tackle to bring up 3rd down and short. And now we'll take a look at that last play. We're inside 2 minutes. So it would be notified from up above. They'll take a look at it, and we'll take a 30-second break. They looked at it again to make sure the catch was secured going to the ground by Emmanuel Sanders. And it looks like a good catch.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a completed pass, a catch. Dallas is charged. Timeout.
Simeon, chase from behind. First down, Denver. Play action, Simeon wide open. Touchdown, Sanders.
Like your first game as a pro to be against Emmanuel Sanders. And that's what happens. We've seen a number of Cowboys players slip on that pivot route by the Broncos. C.J. Anderson, Jeff Heath goes down. This time Emmanuel Sanders, know that it would have mattered.
All set up by that good ground game. 7th round pick who's really making the most of this opportunity.
Well, I told him on Friday.
From the 25 over the middle, Witten, second catch. Out to the, they're going to give him the 32. Prescott, catch is made, and that's a first down grab by Terrence Williams.
They're not going to give up many big plays with this defense.
Pass is caught by Witten. That crosses the 40 with 1:10 left.
Just in the NFL.
On second down, Prescott just got rid of it. The pass is caught. Was he in bounds? Des Bryant. And they're saying the catch is good.
We'll take a closer look at it. Catch is made there. I don't know that he ever gets that left toe on the ground. It's close.
Well, we're inside 2 minutes, obviously, so if they review it, it will be, and it is, initiated from up above.
Yeah, play, the ruling on the field stands. Second down.
Cowboys get that call. 4-man rush. Prescott. Beasley incomplete. Prescott flushed out, gets rid of it. Incomplete. Good protection. Pass is caught short of a first down. Witten. Long enough and good. 2 seconds left. Bailey will just drive it out of the back of the end zone and put it through the uprights. Play.
Yeah, Dak Prescott's the leading rusher for the Cowboys with just 7 yards, and they've contained Ezekiel Elliott.
Those great corners they have out on the outside. Drive will start out at the 25-yard line, and Nolan Carroll. Hand off to C.J. Anderson, running hard out to the 29. Brought down by Jalen Smith in the NFL. It's unbelievable. On second down, pass is incomplete. Good coverage out there by Omaha. On third down, they hand off Anderson for a first down. Here is Anderson brought down by Paya. A tackle for a loss on a run in this game. Simeon with a good game going, and he adds to it. Diving catch by Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders, from what I've seen, runs routes better than anybody else.
Simeon over the middle. Pass is caught. First down and more inside the 45. Jeff Hireman. He's on a knee on the sideline. Handoff is to Charles. Jamal Charles on first down.
Don't know what to do.
Second and 5. Simeon steps into it. Thomas, and a lot of contact, no flag. Anthony Brown was defending. Simeon, quick setup and throw. Thomas, first down.
Hurry!
Hand off to Anderson. Flag, against him.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Until now. First and 20. Simeon flushed out. Throws to no one in particular.
Lynch as well, and Mark Sanchez, and it's been the start of the last 2 years.
Here's Jamal Charles on a handoff, showing some nifty moves to the 30.
Plays involved in the organization. I would never discount this team.
Third and 11, screen for Anderson. Got a block. Got a first down.
for this Cowboys defense.
Blitz from Dallas. Broncos pick it up. Flag as Sanders was the target, and Anthony Brown was there for Dallas.
Pass interference. Defense number 30. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
Omaha, that!
First and goal. Charles gets it. Cuts back to the 3.
A heck of an athlete. And
here's Anderson on second and goal. Just keeps fighting to the 2. Play action. Green, the tight end. Touchdown.
Trevor Siemian had his choice here. The Cowboys completely overflow on the play action fake. He's got Virgil Green in the flat. He also has A.J. Derby to the corner. It's just a matter of which one he wanted to get the ball to, and good execution to score another touchdown for this Broncos offense.
How about a 4-touchdown day already for Trevor Siemian? 18-point game, and the Cowboys, who have done very little offensively.
National Football League.
Elliott, Wolf takes him down. Prescott goes down. A flag is down. The Broncos may have come across early.
Yeah, Vaughn, he got home, but I think he was the one who...
Offside. Defense number 58. 5-yard penalty.
1 third down. Prescott, ball is batted into the air, and a flag is down.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 54, defense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 58, defense. 15 yards, automatic. First down.
Now it looked like Witten left too soon.
False start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down. Please reset the game clock.
And Mike Pereira. Pass is picked. Off the hands of Bryant. Into the arms of Harris. Still going. And he gets brought down inside the 25.
Should catch. It was a well-thrown ball. He put his hand position in kind of a strange spot to try to make that catch, but nevertheless, ball comes through the hands. It's in the air. Harris, who's in a trail position, is there and makes a play on the ball.
And then 23 yards on the return after the interception. Siemian for the tight end, A.J. Derby. Who knows if he'll even be available to the Cowboys next week. Here's Anderson. C.J. smelling it. Touchdown.
Outstanding blocks up front that opens it up, and then Demaryius Thomas from the wideout position. That's how you draw it up on the board. Doing it throughout this ball game.
McManus sneaks it in. That's the Kansas City Chiefs on top of the AFC West. The Raiders playing at the moment. Into the end zone goes the kick.
Now it's all on Prescott if they're going to have any success.
Here is Beasley with a catch and out of bounds. Sideline and almost picked by Talib. 3rd down and 1. Prescott out to his left. Pass is caught for the first down. It's Terrence Williams.
Been able to get any big pass plays this afternoon.
You saw Dak's never been in a game like this, down by 25 and a slide. On first down, a nice gain of 6. Here's Elliott. Back to the line of scrimmage. Extra men on the rush, and the pass is incomplete.
And that's usually who Prescott likes in these situations.
They barely got it away. Bryant for a first down. Elliott left side, nothing out there. Barrett forced him to the edge, maybe a yard. They gave Elliott another yard on that last carry as they reviewed it. He's got 2 on the day as Williams makes the catch on 2nd down. 3rd and short coming up. Alfred Morris in the backfield now on 3rd and 5. Beasley, bad pass. He was open and Prescott couldn't hit him. Prescott, pass incomplete, and Prescott was hit as he let it go. The Broncos will take over on downs. 10 left. Quarter number 3. Play action and a pick. That was a broken play from the beginning, and the rookie Jordan Lewis has his first pick in his first NFL game.
Play fake was off, and then Demaryius Thomas wasn't even ready for the ball when it was turned loose. And nobody from the start really knew what was happening. You see the timing off with the wide receiver, and even in the backfield, the play action.
Cowboys have it at the 39. Cowboys have to throw it. Floated for Elliott, and he can't get there. 2nd and 10. Hand off to Elliott. Gets a yard. 2 downs to get 9 yards. Here's Beasley. Short. And a strong tackle by Chris Harris. Down and 1. They hand to Elliott, and that's his biggest of the day. That's going to be shut down as the right tackle. Lyle Collins left too early.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It'll be 1st and 15 for Dallas. Start of the 4th quarter. They get it to Elliott out on the edge. He gets a couple.
That's how inept this passing game has been today for this Cowboys team.
Prescott well protected. Witten. There he is for the touchdown. The Hall of Famer adds another.
It's Witten as he makes his move at the top of this route. This is where he's good. He gives a little head fake right there to the outside, and he's so good at that, and it's so subtle that you then get the defender overplaying it, and it opens up the middle of the field. He's a technician running routes.
28-yarder, and Jason Witten now has tied one career game that came in his rookie season of 2003. And with the Broncos all up, half expecting an onside kick. He's got 6 catches in this game. Over 1,100 is in his career. Sean Lee makes a play on C.J. Anderson.
Take a stop. They could make this game interesting.
Pass to the sideline, and Sanders has to go out of bounds.
The Broncos have come out, and they've done a masterful job.
3rd down here. Simeon brought down. After converting on 7 straight 3rd down plays, Ryan Switzer, the rookie, waiting deep. Knuckleball, and it checks backward. And now takes a Denver couple of bounces inside the 20 to the 19. Wide open as Bryant goes backward a step, and now will end up at the 26.
To be a superstar in this league, he just needs more playing time.
On 2nd down, this one is dropped. Another chance for Talib.
On that one, once again, Bryant having to play defense.
They fake it, they throw it, incomplete. It's 4th down. Witten the target.
That set up the touchdown.
Beautiful punt. Isaiah McKenzie sidesteps 1 tackle. Flag is down. And so's McKenzie.
There are 2 fouls by the receiving team on this play. During the return, there was an illegal block in the back by number 29. That penalty is declined as there was holding number 90 of the receiving team during the kick. That penalty will be administered half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's Kyle Pecco.
He's a reliable guy to hand the ball to.
There he is. Nice game. Anderson gets a first down. What a good day from the Denver offensive line, even though they've lost. Chidobe Awuzie left with the bad hamstring. Here's a good play off the edge by Kyle Wilker. Blitz coming from Dallas. Broncos pick it up, and the pass incomplete, and here comes a flag.
Pass interference, defense. By rule, the ball is placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
I didn't see a whole.
Jamal Charles gets it running right. Breaks one tackle, flag is down, and Charles is out of bounds. Just outside the 39.
Right
Illegal
there.
blocking the back,
AJ
number
Derby.
83 offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Several seconds coming off the clock. Delayed handoff, Charles sidestepped one tackle.
Lock down as best as possible.
That's a false start. Looked like the rookie was guilty. Isaiah McKenzie.
False start, offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's played tomorrow night at home against Detroit. Another delayed handoff, C.J. Anderson. Jalen Smith there to meet him. Third and long coming up.
Where they were last season and how that opens everything up.
Anderson got hit by Tapper.
Defensively got tested last week against Seattle, but he'll get tested tonight.
High hanging punt. And that was after being slowed during the preseason last year with a hamstring. Here's Elliott out on the edge, makes one move, and now another, and gets 9.
Going today in this game, it put a lot of pressure on Prescott against a great secondary.
Boy, Von Miller got across in a blink, a late flag on the play, and they're going to get Miller for leaving too soon, but they let the play happen anyway.
Offside, defense number 58 moved into the neutral zone prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Frustrated on Friday when we talked to him, and he's trying to get home.
Pass caught by Bryant. Somehow stays on his feet and gets 9. He did it again. And Prescott gets hit again. He finds Butler, who hops out of bounds inside the 25.
Offside, defense number 58. That penalty is declined as a result of the play. It's a first down.
On first down, Prescott, Beasley left alone. And he wisely gets out of bounds, let alone a sack. First down, Prescott, end zone, Witten through his hands. Miller got there, finally.
Prescott hold it longer than he wanted to.
3rd and 14, Prescott stays upright. Makes a move on the sideline. He's going to be short of the first down. Justin Simmons there to make the stop. Everybody coming. Pass is broken up. Incomplete, and the Broncos take over. Bradley Roby on Des Bryant. Tall on that one. Now from the 7, handoff is to Anderson. And he is bottled up.
Nothing.
That brought to you by Nationwide. Peyton Manning is in the stadium today. Into the Ring of Honor in Indianapolis. And a game on Fox. This will bring up 4th down.
League, and for our game, it's been talked about every single week, and this hasn't been good for our sport.
Switzer finally gets a chance to return one and shows what he can do. Tackled awkwardly way back in the first half. Here's a first down catch for Jason Witten.
That's his worry about. He's real high on that list for the Cowboys.
Pass is off the left hand of Des Bryant.
Decided that's been given up by the Broncos defensively. They've been excellent.
Prescott comes underneath in a flag. Switzer the target. Chris Harris was on him.
Holding, defense number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
It's like Switzer, and of course what we've seen from Beasley.
Here's Prescott going down. Von Miller's got another.
To pursue, he now has 2 sacks.
Prescott over the middle for Witten. Von Miller now in his 90th game has 75.5 sacks. Prescott underneath. First down catch by Witten. Prescott throws it away. 2nd and goal. Tyron Smith
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
In the NFL here in 2017. They're off to a good start. Pass is caught, but short is Witten.
They have got to be really, really pleased with the performance on both sides of the ball.
Prescott, end zone, incomplete, fourth down.
Put up today.
Broncos come with a blitz, quick throw, pass on fourth down, picked off. This is Talib, still going, looking for another pick six. Prescott in his way. Talib, he's going to go. No flags. Talib, touchdown. He can play.
Oh, he can play. He's one of the smartest corners in football, and Vance Joseph was just telling us that he said, well, he can't run like he used to, but he studies the game and he's still effective because he's so smart. Well, he just went 103 yards with that interception.
Dak Prescott. It's a rare Prescott interception and a 103-yard return.
Playing great. They kept a lot of the same concepts. They brought in a few other wrinkles that he learned from the influences of Mike Zimmer and
for Ezekiel Elliott. Handoff to Rod Smith. Shaq Barrett came across early. Von Miller.
Offside. Defense number 48. The penalty is declined. Second down.
Just have to keep Dak Prescott healthy. Just keep handing it off and get out of Denver. Rod Smith bottled up. It's in the fourth quarter. And this game is over. What a day for the Broncos. And Vance Joseph is 2-0. And his team looks awfully good. Take a break, come back, and wrap up the day after this.